Here at the SITA IT Summit here in Cannes in France, and I'm speaking with Paul Coby, who's the Chief Information Officer for British Airways and also the Chairman of SITA. So Paul, I was just wondering if first up you could give me a bit of a feel for the kind of themes that are being discussed here, the issues which everybody's talking about right now.
Well, the key thing, of course, is the industry crisis, the recession, and everybody's talking about the challenges that faces.
Yeah.
But one of the really interesting things is that everybody's still clear that IT's a large part of the answer.
Yeah.
So whether that's about ensuring that you hang on to the customers that they are, or you reduce the cost in your business.
So it's very much about using that technology to maybe try and leverage that investment to improve things through the crisis, rather than it being seen as maybe an unnecessary investment or something like that. It's seen as something which will drive people through it.
Well, of course, the great thing about technology is it may be only 1.7% of the cost of the airline on average, but it should address 100% of the cost base and 100% of the revenues of the airline. So it's an enormous lever.
Okay, and in terms of the technology which is coming online, is it moving fast enough, or is it a bit frustrating for companies that are trying to move forwards with this and it's just not quite getting there quickly enough?
Well, I'm sure everybody's frustrated, but in defence of the IT folks, I'd say that everybody's working really hard to get the benefits through. So in British Airways, we're using new Agile techniques, which employ sort of lean methodologies to deliver functionality every 2 or 3 weeks on areas like BA.com.
And what specifically would that be? Can you give any examples about Agile technology?
Well, we've recently put things in our exec club, which part miles, part cash was put up in that way, and we've just delivered dynamic packaging, which is pretty revolutionary, since it puts together our fares with car hire and hotels in a single price for travellers, and I think that's a great way to give great customer service and increase ancillary revenues.
Okay, and what would you say are the most sort of annoying things, the limiting factors which are stopping you from pressing forward with what you want to do?
Well, there isn't any money, or there's a lot less money around than there was, which is how it absolutely should be. So we've had to absolutely prioritise. I think one of the things that probably is a concern to users is you still have to keep the IT you've got going. There are no prizes, for cutting costs to the extent where you actually stop the airline. So it was great to see Willie this morning talk about the importance of business continuity as well as cost and customer.
Okay, and do you think that the industry is learning enough from sort of other industries, other sectors, or do you think that it's a little bit the other way around, that other sectors might learn from aviation? Are we ahead of the game, behind the game? Where are we at?
That's a great question. I mean, that's a real where SITA can bring things in. So we've been bringing in new technologies. So things like cabin connectivity, is one example of that. But I don't think the air transport industry's got anything to be ashamed of. And indeed, when I meet other CIOs, they're asking me about what's it like living through a recession, since we went through it in 9/11. It wasn't as bad as this one, but we do know the playbook a bit.
Okay, so in general, sort of technologically, we're getting there. There are still some frustrations there, primarily the budget issues.
Well, I think it's a game of two halves. The first half is survival. If you don't cut your costs, and that includes IT, you won't survive. So you've just got to do that. Then it's about prosperity in the future. So that's when you're going to actually invest in the things with longer term payback. So you've got to do both. You've got to survive, and then you've got to then think about the future.
Okay, that's great. Well, thank you very much for taking the time to speak with me. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.